So you're driving along the road and you need to get into the next lane. You put your indicator on and the car beside you sees the indicator, surges forward, so it's right up against the bumper of the car in front of it. And then as that moves forward, the car behind it is also right up the bumper of the car in front of it. And you can't get across. What do you do?
Welcome to Share.Care, an all-inclusive community sharing experience, strength, and hope to create strong, healthy, and inspiring relationships. Share.Care communities work toward every individual feeling safe, valued, and heard, free from the threat of danger, pain, or harm. Each episode, founder Damian Andrews explores the principles underpinning Share.Care and invites expert special guests to share their knowledge so you can easily reap the benefits so many others experience. You hold the choice to create your future. Let it be with strong, healthy, and inspiring relationships.
Hello and welcome to an on-the-couch episode of the Share.Care podcast. Our belief is that global peace starts at home. Feeling safe, valued, and heard gives you a foundation to confidently step out and make the world a happier and safer place for everyone. Because in today's world, it's in your own selfish best interest to help others. Now, I'm sure you've all had that experience when you're driving along and you want to change lanes and there's someone just pushes forward and prevents you from moving across. And to be fair, I mean, they don't have an obligation to let you in. So we can't really hold a grudge against them for that. What I'm really talking about today is giving a wave when someone does let you in. I know from my experience in my driving, I'd make a conscious effort whenever someone lets me in. So I'm driving along and someone lets me in, I'll wave, whether it's out the back window or whatever, and just say thank you. And to be really fair too, from my experience as well, majority of times I will get let in. So I'll be driving along, I have my indicator on, and someone will open up the gap and or hold back a little bit to allow me to move into the next lane. And of course, I'll give them a wave. And so, but there have been times in the past, part of where people haven't let me in, and I've got really annoyed with that. And that has been my focus, and that's part of what I wanted to talk about today is what do you focus on? Because now today, for me, let's go back in time. There was a time where that was my focus. It was like, people don't let me in, they don't wave, they don't say thank you, and that was my mindset. So I'd be thinking, all drivers are terrible, horrible, and that's my experience. But then I made a shift and said, well, I understood about how your reticular activating system works, and what you focus on is what attracts into your life. Also, to understanding that stress isn't that good for your body. Being relaxed is good for your body. And I shifted my focus of, okay, I'll focus on the people that do let me in, which is what I did. And I noticed that people did, when I had my indicator on, yes, there was an occasional person that did push forward and all people next to me, and maybe they didn't even push forward, they just kept driving. And that happened a bit as well, where you'd be driving along and have your indicator on, they keep driving and keeping a nice space, not pushing forward really aggressively, going, they're just driving and doing what they're doing, which is fine. They're entitled to do that. But I did notice that a lot of people actually did let me in, and I'd give them away. What I did notice too, when those times happened, and you think about it and go, well, how did that person feel that let me in and they got a wave? What did that do for their day? Because I would imagine that they've gone, okay, I'll let you in, that's kind. And then you give them a wave, out the back window, you kind of raise your hand and say, okay, thank you. What does that do for their day? I'm sure not only did they feel good about letting someone in because that's just their personality, but to give them that acknowledgement, they would have felt really good. And the reason I know that is because I'm done the opposite, where I've been driving along and someone needed to get in, and I'll lay back a little bit, create some space and allow them to come in, and they wave and I go, thank you, that's really cool. And I've noticed that happens a lot. So what you're doing by allowing people in, by waving to the person that let you in, is you're creating this wonderful feeling for them. And then when you think about it, think forward to those people that pushed forward. People, wouldn't let you in. They didn't get the wave. They didn't get those good feelings. So they're missing out. So as much as you might get angry, well, this is what I used to do. I'd get angry, get upset, and go like, oh, why don't they let me in? How kind. And so then I'm getting upset. And I'm feeling bad, and I'm creating tension in my body and probably some disease or whatever that comes from you being under stress. So I stop being stressed about it, stop worrying about it. Oh, they don't mean someone will let me in. And someone always does let you in. And then you give them a wave. They feel good about it. You both feel good. I feel good when I'm giving a wave. It's like, I really appreciate that. Thank you. I'm really grateful for that. And I'm no doubt you've read and understand lots about gratitude and how important that is for your life. And it's like, thank you. And I feel good about it because I've given a wave. They feel good about it. I know they feel good about it because when people give me a wave, I feel good about it. So no doubt they feel good about it. Both our days are better because they let me in and I gave them the wave. And same token too, when the situation's reversed, I always let people in. I'm not that much in a hurry to get where I need to go. I'm certainly not in a hurry to push forward. It's not my space. It's a road and I'm on a journey and I want to enjoy my journey. If someone needs to get in, and that's fine. Same token too, the opposite has happened driving as well. Think about, you might have had experience, well, I certainly had the experience where I've actually cut someone off. Wasn't intentional, but just, sometimes you just don't see and cut someone off and someone's gone, beep, and they're like, yep, sorry, apologize, didn't mean it. It was an accident. I've actually got waves back. It's like, yeah, apologize. I didn't mean to, toot my horn so loud, or aggressively, however you want it to. You can tell the difference between the toot. It's like when you're sitting there and someone hasn't taken the light, you give a little tight, little short beep. Come on, move forward, and they, oh yeah, stop looking at my phone, and they'll move forward. As opposed to someone laying on the horn going really aggressively. Never had that where I've cut someone off and they've tooted on the horn, hey, cut me off. And so I've just waved and said, look, I'm sorry, it was an accident. And instead, I've actually got waves back. And similar to even when I've cut someone off, I've realized I've cut them off. And so what I've done is just gone, sorry, and given that wave. And I felt good about that because it's like, oh, sorry, I gave you a wave. And no doubt they would have felt better about it too, because that's happened to me, the reverse. It's the same, where someone's cut me off. I haven't laid on the horn because, it's not worth it. But they've realized and gone, oh, sorry, didn't mean it. And I'm like, I know, because I've got the wave and I get the acknowledgement that you made a mistake, and that's fine. We make mistakes. And I felt good about it because, they have, they've acknowledged it. And even if they don't, so what? But certainly when they do acknowledge it, I feel better about it. So I know from my perspective, when I'm giving someone a wave and saying, look, sorry, more often than not, they'll probably feel better about it as well. So you're making their day. And this is the point we're talking about with giving. I mean, it doesn't take much to give. It's like someone needs to get in. Allow them in. Is it really going to affect your journey? If, someone lets you in, how much effort does it take to give them a bit of a wave? And how good does it make it feel? How does it make your day better? All those little things make your day better. And the thing that I've noticed most of all, and as I said at the start, I used to focus on people, that people wouldn't let you in and they wouldn't wave. And now I struggle to think of a time where someone didn't let me in. And I'm sure it happens. I just don't notice it because I'm noticing the person that does let me in, and I'm noticing the person that gave me a wave. Yeah, I'm sure people have. I've let people in, and they haven't given me a wave. I was actually doing it the other day. I was driving last week, and I was thinking that thing. I was letting someone in, and for whatever reason, I was being judgmental. I was like, "They're not going to wave," and it was funny because they. As they drove off, not only they didn't wave, they wound down their window and put their hand out and gave me this massive wave. And it was like, oh, there I am prejudging this person, thinking they're not going to wave, and they gave me this really exuberant thank you that I'd let them in. And I said, from that mindset that I now have, I notice, as I'm talking about now, I notice the people that wave. That's what I remember. And even thinking about that now, I'm thinking about that feeling good. This happened last week, and I'm telling you the story now, and I'm feeling good about that this person waved, and I'm thinking about the times I've waved, and I feel good about that. My body feels good. Everything feels good. And this is where, when we talk about, is it important to give the wave? Would suggest there are so many more benefits to you by if you cut someone off accidentally, just give them a quick wave. If someone lets you in, give them a wave, give them an acknowledgement, thank you. It makes you feel better, it makes them feel better, and this comes back to this whole giving is in your self-interest. I mean, you're giving them a wave saying thank you. I know from my perspective, as I'm talking, thinking about all the waves that I've given, I feel good. That's in my self-interest. It's good for my health. It's good for my well-being. And this is where it is really important to do things like that. And that's where, simple thing, give the wave. Your life will be better off.
Thank you for being part of the Share.Care community and helping people around the world prosper. You're creating a bigger pie for everyone to share. The more people contributing to the world being a better place, the better the world becomes for others and for you.